Hello and welcome to podcasts. I am extra excited today because this is the very first episode in the mini-series called Ascension. This mini-series is designed to give you really potent information in just 5 to 10 minutes. So this series is going to go on for at least 10 episodes, so you can just click play and maybe on the way to work you can get a little inspo. And it's not just designed to inspire you, it's also designed to enlighten you, which doesn't always mean it's rainbows and butterflies. It's hard truths and different things that we can do to make our lives better, even if it means getting a little down and dirty with it. So let's get into it today so we can keep it quick. The first topic that I want to talk about today is unblocking your spirit. I have to give the shaman Makosi. You can find her online at The Royal Shaman. She actually taught me this principle in one of the workshops that she held. And ever since, it's something that I'm aware of. And I think that everyone can benefit from these tips, especially coming from a shaman who really knows the ins and outs of spirituality and what it really means to be connected to source energy. Source is where we all came from, our souls came from, not our bodies. Our bodies came out from our moms. But the other aspect of the human experience is having a soul. So I've definitely gotten way, way, way deeper into spirituality the past year, and unblocking yourself from spirit is something super important if you want to be spiritual, right? But the issue is a lot of us are continuously creating blockades from the beauty that is beyond the 3D realm. So, what are these tips? And again, this is certain information that I've extracted from a workshop that I've done with the Royal Shaman. Check her out if you haven't already, because she has already changed my life from just a few hours of working with her in a workshop setting. And she does have offers for higher end one-on-one coaching as well. And it's not just coaching, it's a life transformation. But anyways, let's get into it. So, your ancestors actually tell you what your body needs. And if you do tune into your body, you will be able to figure out what you need and what you don't need. And that's not saying, okay, I'm praying to my ancestors and I want a sign that I should eat bananas or not. And that's not really how it works. You got to listen to your body when you eat certain things. If it goes haywire, then you probably shouldn't be eating that. And this goes for vegans and vegetarians and people that eat meat. Some people do really well with meat. Some people don't. I know right now for me, I'm not a complete vegan. I like to eat vegan, but I do have chicken once in a while and pizza and bread. Although there are vegan breads out there, but I've really listened to my body and what it needs, and I'm still going through that journey. But the things that do block spirit, again, this is from Makosi: sugar, dairy, eggs, alcohol, gluten, and cigarettes, and even weed a little bit too. Most of the time, although I feel like I've connected to spirit through weed, honestly. So I don't really want to add that in there. But she did mention that marijuana is not something that helps you see clearly into your intuition. That's a little bit more of a foggy type of way. Hold on. What's going on in my brain? So again, sugar, dairy, eggs, alcohol, gluten, and cigarettes. So my hardest thing is dairy and alcohol, and gluten. I mean, they're all like, obviously cigarettes, no issue there. I don't smoke cigarettes. But it's just interesting to think about that and maybe try to cut one or two of those out and see if anything changes, not only with your physical body, but with how deeply you are able to connect to your intuition and to spirit. Because connecting to your intuition is really connecting to spirit. That's your spiritual side, not your human body. You're not like, think. It's feel, feel, feel. Something else that also blocks you from connecting to spirit is having attachments and having expectations. So that is really brain based, and that is thinking, if I expect other people to treat me this way, otherwise whatever the expectation is, it might be misaligned from someone else's boundaries that they've created with you. And that is something that you need to respect, because creating boundaries is one of the healthiest things that we can do, actually, to tune into spirit a little bit more. Because if someone is sucking out your life force energy just with their presence and with their energy showing up, create a boundary and make sure you don't overextend your energy into that type of person who kind of pulls it out of you. So look out for that whenever you're feeling like you are attached or have really strong expectations for someone else or for yourself. And this kind of does go back to my last episode where I talked about your identity. And a lot of times our identity is shaped by the attachments that we have to certain labels about ourselves in life. So by doing that, it's putting yourself in a box, and you're not able to access outside of that 3D label, which is extremely, extremely limiting. And in order to connect to source, the feeling is abundance, and it's never-ending inspirations coming your way, never-ending ideas or creative feelings. And those work better when you're not stagnant or putting a box around yourself. That's the best way that I think I can say it, is restricting yourself from other opportunities that might lead you in maybe an unknown direction, which can be scary. But that's where the magic happens, is feeling a little discomfort in regards to change. Change can be scary, because if we don't know exactly what's going to happen, then our brains get all crazy and we're not even able to focus on the spiritual side of ourselves. And just be sure not to judge yourself. That completely will block you from spirit. That will make it so you are so focused on what's wrong with you that you can't possibly manifest anything that will be right with you. It will be more so at a lower vibration that you will be living if you focus on judging yourself constantly, wanting to be perfect, wanting to be the best, wanting to be better than other people, comparing yourself constantly. That pulls you away from source, that pulls you away from your spirit, that in its raw form, your spirit is literally pure love. So the opposite of pure love is judging anything, judgment. The opposite of pure love is judgment, because you're not accepting, you're just trying to figure it out. It's more of a in your headspace type of feeling. It's not even a feeling, it's more of a thought process that will give you a feeling of discomfort, which again separates you from your spirit guides, from source, from angels that actually are here to help us all. And we have to just be an open channel and really open ourselves up to any guidance that we can have by truly tuning into our bodies. That is the key, is to tune into our bodies in order to connect to source. I struggled for a while finding a feeling of groundedness and feeling safe in my body, because I hated my body for so long. That right there is 10 plus years of me being completely disconnected from home, which is source, which is where I came from, which is the spiritual side of this human experience. This human experience is not just what we see. That's only half of it, or maybe even a quarter of it. Like, I don't even know how to measure that. And the other part of us, the huge, huge, amazing, beautiful aspect of us, is the spiritual side of us. And that is where we create transformations for ourselves and for other people. And we feel good, and we feel empowered, and we feel completely limitless, because we are infinite beings. And that is powerful right there. So the next time you find yourself judging yourself, attaching to certain labels or certain ideas that you've had, or you have expectations of other people, you're eating certain things that make your body feel really sick or off or yucky, that is a sign that you are just really disconnecting yourself from source. And in order to really transform your life, it is so essential to keep that connection nice and strong, stay grounded, out of your head. Something that my boyfriend laughed at me about in one of my other videos, one of my other podcasts, was turn your brain off and your antennas on. And that is exactly what I'm telling you to do right now, because that is where the truth lies. Not in your head, but in your spirit. I hope you enjoyed this mini-sode today, and there's more where this came from, so be sure to check it out. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it on social media, tag me, all the things. I love you so much. Catch you next time.